Mary Keyork, immigration lawyer. Should you use a lawyer to assist you in your immigration application? This is a question that I'm often asked by clients. The answer is you can use a lawyer or you can also apply by yourself. There's a lot of people that navigate through the Citizenship and Immigration Canada website by themselves and are able to successfully submit applications. The use of a lawyer is that often if you have a case that's a little bit complex or there's some level of detail that is not clear to you with respect to how you're supposed to tackle it, then it's always best to at least consult with a lawyer before submitting the application. Immigration lawyers have years of experience navigating through the huge bureaucracy, which is Citizenship and Immigration Canada. And although the website and forums or blogs can provide a lot of useful information, my view is that every application is different, every case is different, every applicant is different. So it's important to consult with an expert in order to provide all of your information to make sure that you're covering everything. For example, spousal sponsorships. Often couples come and see me and they think that it's very straightforward to submit an application. They're in a genuine relationship. They have a marriage certificate and they're ready to submit it, complete the forms, submit the marriage certificate, copies of passport. But in reality, immigration officers are looking for much, much more than that. In order to get a spousal sponsorship approved, you have to demonstrate the genuineness of the relationship and you have to prove that your relationship is permanent, committed, and long term. Just because you are married, and even if you have children, for example, doesn't mean that you are in a genuine relationship. It's important to be able to prove that with documents. When the time comes for the officer to assess your case, the officer will not see you, will not talk to you, will only look at your documents. And officers tackle and assess thousands of applications every month, and you have to make sure that your application is complete and stands out, and the officer, just by looking at the documents and going through your story, will be able to determine that yes, this is a genuine relationship. This is not somebody that's entered a relationship just to gain entry into Canada. So as lawyers, we have years of experience dealing with immigration officers, with the different embassies, with their requirements and the changes of policies, and we know exactly how to submit applications in order not to even give the option to the officer to refuse. So we've prepared through the years a list of very detailed documents, supporting documents that we're going to ask you to collect, which is very, very different than what's on the Citizenship and Immigration Canada website. On the website, it gives you very basic information on what supporting documents you should submit. But our firm will give you a list that's very detailed, including reference letters and pictures and questionnaires describing how you met, why you got married, or if you're in a common law relationship, how did that happen? Does the public know about your relationship? Was there a ceremony to celebrate your engagement? Did you travel to visit each other? Receipts of activities you've done together, and all of these documents will be prepared in a very specific way in order to make it also easy for the officer to navigate through your application. It's not about submitting a very big application with a lot of documents. It's not about the quantity, but it's about the quality, and it's the way it's presented. So if you are able to really prepare a strong application to demonstrate your application, then you can go ahead and do it by yourself. But it's always recommended to at least consult and with a lawyer. And if you do have some level of complexity, for example, if there's a criminal background, if there's a previous refusal, if there's some sort of issue with respect to previous entries to Canada, then it's always best to consult with a lawyer to make sure that you've covered all your bases. The reason for that mainly is that if your application is refused, then you lose a lot of time. You have to go to court, and then you lose a lot of money because you have to hire a lawyer to go to court. That's a lot of legal fees. Or you have to reapply. That means you have to start everything all over again. And more so, besides the refusals, it can take much longer for your application to process. If an application is complete, it will process within about the processing times. However, if you're missing documents, if you forgot to check a box or put a signature, The way immigration works often is they won't call you and tell you, oh, you forgot this. They'll simply either refuse your application, or most of the time they'll just return the whole thing to you after sitting on it for a few months. And they'll tell you, look, you forgot to include this, include it, and then apply again. And then you've lost 5 months or 6 months. So having a lawyer on file will ensure that you don't go through these little hurdles, and it'll make the process much easier for you because it'll take the burden off of your shoulders. And every time you have questions or you wonder what's happening to your application, you'll have your lawyer to call and ask all your questions.